Hi everyone, LiberAnarchy here. I'm doing a video response to a text comment somebody left me because I think just having a conversation in text would take far too long, and it would just be like continued, 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 etc. So the individual in question, slipknotyk06, sorry if that's wrong, he made a text comment to me on other Jacob Spinney's video called Eagle Eye 1975 and Anarchism. Okay, I am going to paraphrase the first part of his comment, and then I'm actually going to concede his point to a degree, and then I'm going to address the rest of his comment. Why am I talking about going to address a comment? Just address the damn comment, right? Okay, well, first, I actually do concede that a state's monopoly on force is not total. I explained that the definition of a state I use is a coercive monopoly on the use of force. Okay, now I still think it works in a very kind of bare bones at bottom, keep it simple, stupid kind of way. But I will concede that yes, other people do use force, and in fact, in countries like the United States, citizens are still allowed to own guns, and you even have collectors that own hundreds and hundreds of guns. They have arsenals. It's rare, but it happens. Now, having said that, I will say that, let's say, a small town full of rednecks decides to secede from the Union, and they're, for whatever reason, they decide, well, we're not going to pay our taxes, and we're not going to obey, this law, this law, this law, and that law because they're unjust, and they just secede. And then the force of the federal government rains down upon them. Who do you think is going to win? Why? Because the government has a hell of a lot more guns than any individual or small group of citizens, and they have a hell of a lot more trained soldiers. And also, as far as the monopoly on the use of force, let me explain to you the double standard. The government gets to put a gun to your head and demand that you pay for goods and services. Supposedly goods and services. Pay for the promise of goods and services. I don't get to do that to you, and I shouldn't. You don't get to do that to me. The mafia, while they do that to people, it's called extortion, is technically illegal. They don't get to do that. The government does. How? Taxation. And if you don't believe me, what happens if you stop paying your taxes? You get fined, you get audited, eventually you get taken to jail. Now keep in mind, in the United States, and in many other countries, taxes are just taken out of your paycheck anyway. But, take it to the nth degree. Resist going to jail for not paying your taxes. Resist, resist, resist. Eventually, they're going to kill you. Eventually. It's a long, roundabout, indirect process, but eventually, they will kill you. If you don't believe me, try it. Eventually, they will break down your door with guns and they will fucking kill you. And hopefully, you won't have family members or pets in the line of fire. I mean, and the government gets to do this. Nobody else gets to do it. There's, it's not like, oh, it's legal when other people do that to other people. But when the government does it, it's okay. That's what I mean by a coercive monopoly on force. Now, and all I get to, if you're gonna say, oh well, taxes are for X goods and services, and then, What business forces you to pay for the promise of goods and services? And if I put a gun to your head and said, "Pay me fucking money because I promised to buy you a new fucking car," or whatever, does it make it okay for me to put a gun to your head and say, "Your money is fucking mine now"? No, I don't get to fucking do that. Okay? Uh, and I'm sorry for getting so mad about this, but there just seems to be this block in a lot of people's thinking. So I do concede that in many countries, the monopoly on coercive force is not complete. But the basic idea is there. The basic keep it simple, stupid idea is there. Okay, there is a double standard. The government gets to use lethal force that we don't get to use. Okay. Now I'll start reading specifically from your comments. Let's see. Interesting you mentioned organized crime here, by the way. Just saying. Okay, a communist despot uses much more. Okay, I would agree with that. Plus in Anarchy there is no glue to hold the social fabric together. The biggest piece wins. Okay, first let's address the biggest piece wins. Who do you think has the biggest piece? You're taught not to fucking see it. Who do you think has the biggest piece? That's the way it is fucking now. All you gotta do is look in plain sight. All you gotta do is fucking look. And I'm not actually mad at you. The reason I'm mad is because you, like me, like everyone else, was taught, brainwashed, not to see the fucking biggest piece. And it's in plain sight. Plain sight. Okay? Now then, there's no glue to hold us together without a state? Really? Okay, first of all, okay. Hypothetical situation. You're hungry. You need to eat. I'm hungry. I need to fucking eat. There's a fucking tiger out there. We could eat the tiger. And besides, if we don't take it down, maybe it'll fucking eat us, right? And I know Jacob Spinney will object to this because he's a vegetarian, but just bear with me. This is just a hypothetical example because I'm trying to illustrate a point. Okay? So, if you and me and other people team up, we have a hell of a lot better chance of killing this tiger. Maybe somebody's like, "Oh, I'm an expert in making bows and arrows," and you know what? If we gather this equipment, and you are great at carving, you can carve us some bows, and you over there, you can string them up, and we can all have some target practice, and then eventually we can team up and kill the fucking tiger, and we can fucking eat. Okay? Survival. Human beings do better when we work together. Survival. That's glue. Trade. Gosh darn it, I have this stone knife that you would love to be able to use to carve up fish, and you have a couple of baskets that you just wove, and I got a lot of crap to lug from here to fucking Timbuktu, and these baskets are gonna fucking help. Okay? Trade. That is a common glue. Human empathy is a common glue. Why? Well, the people that have more drive toward empathy do better together, i.e., survive, and they survive to mate, so they have offspring, that is more prone genetically to be more empathetic and more cooperative and want to work together. Humans are a social fucking animal. I'm making this more complicated than it is. Humans are a social animal. That's how we fucking work. Empathy is one of the glues that holds us together, okay? Hell, not all the glues are even positive. I mean, You know, fear of the dark. You know, we can huddle around a fire because we're afraid of just hanging out alone in the dark. So, yeah, see, you've been lied to, and I'm sorry that you've been lied to. I've been lied to, and I'm not angry with you necessarily, unless you're lying to your children without even thinking about it. But, you know, my parents lied to me because they were lied to and they were lied to. Just, it's called indoctrination. And it's insidious, and that's why somebody can sit here on the internet and honestly type in a discussion that without the state there is no glue that holds us together, when it's not correct, it's wrong. I'm sorry. It's not even like, oh, there's a debate here, at least with the monopoly enforcer, some sort of debate. I'm sorry, dude, you're wrong. I don't ordinarily tell people, dude, you're just wrong. But, dude, you're just wrong. In fact, if the state can actually do a lot to tear people apart. I want my special group to get tax breaks, so I'm voting for so-and-so. Well, I want my other special interest group to get these tax breaks and these, in this particular welfare program. And if you don't believe me, have you ever seen Democrats and Republicans go at it? Have you ever seen, like, say, you know, at a family get-together, you have one side that's has more Republicans and another has more Democrats, and they just get into a debate, and it just turns into a fight over who our next master should be. You know, should it be Tom Johnson or John Thompson? And I'm laughing at it because it's so absurd, the divisions that we ourselves choose to take upon ourselves just because of these absurd things like voting. We get to vote in a new master that was put there essentially by the political class. Okay, the super wealthy, super politically connected. Okay, they put the choices in front of us. Okay. I'm getting way off topic here. And I'm going to end this video not by being condescending, not by calling you a fool or crazy or... Yeah, I mean, we have a couple of anarchists on YouTube or anti-statists or whatever adjective you prefer who have a habit of calling people stupid and crazy. You're probably not stupid and crazy, at least no crazier than I am. You're probably just... you're just swimming in a lot of brainwashing right now. I probably still haven't gotten over a lot of the brainwashing that I underwent as a child. So, I mean, from one human being to another, I mean, I hope that... I hope that you do well, no matter what you think about fucking anything. I hope that you do well. And I'm sorry that you were lied to. I have nothing but empathy. And I'm not trying to be like all emo and... No, it's just that I have nothing but empathy for you. Okay. So... you know, feel free to comment, video response, etc. I mean, okay, well, and I'm gonna sit here a minute so I don't get cut off.